Everyone in this arena has a money stake in one of our famous couples as we play the game of celebrity gossip, Tattletales. And here's the star of Tattletales, Bert Conde.
All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for tuning us in. Nice to have you with us on Tattletales today. We've had a good time with these three couples. I hope you've enjoyed them as much as I have, and everybody here. And you're going to enjoy them one more time, and here they come at you. On my left, winning money for the blue section today, and Meara and her husband, Jerry Stiller. Nice to have you with us. Nice to have had you with us. And we'll look forward to having you with us for a long time in the fall on CBS.
It sounds like a eulogy.
Yes. I didn't mean it to, but you have your show, Joe and Sons, right, Jerry?
With Richie Castellano. He's marvelous in it. He's a star, and he's going to be brilliant. You're going to love him.
I'm sure you are as well. And you have your show?
Kate McShane.
Yes.
On CBS.
When is it on?
It's on Wednesday nights at 10.
Wednesday nights at
Yes.
10. Okay, we're on every day at 2:30. Don't forget that, everybody. Moving right along. For the banana section today. It's been a treat to have had them too. Kathie, Browne, and her husband, Darren, McGavin.
It's been very nice to be here.
You know, Darren, you were telling us on the show last time how Kathie is your executive producer. You don't really get to take your executive producer home with you every night.
You bet your sweet tushy
Very
I
often.
do.
That's wonderful. What a
That's
nice
part of the
change.
contract deal. What do you thought? You kidding?
Isn't that terrific? I'm glad to hear it.
She
Kathie?
started out as a secretary and ended up an executive producer. How do you think she got that way?
You see? Okay, winning money today for the red section, ladies and gentlemen, favorites of ours. Olavee Martin and her husband, Ross Martin. Olavee, you look lovely today.
Thank you.
I like your flower. I should have worn one today, too. I've got on a black suit. I fouled up, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, if you invite me back again, I'll bring you one.
Oh, you got it.
Okay.
Hey,
Ross?
I got lost in all this somehow.
Never mind. Never mind. We're having a nice time. And this first question is for you guys. It's worth $150, and here we go. We know this couldn't happen. Look out when we say that. But in the unlikely event you found that your wife was having an affair with a good friend of yours, would you, 1, blame him, 2, blame her, or 3, blame yourself? We know this couldn't happen, of course, but in the unlikely event you found out that your wife was having an affair with a good friend of yours, would you blame him, blame her, or blame yourself? Think it over. We'll find out in a moment how you feel about that. Off they go, and we'll start with you, Ann. How would Jerry feel about that?
Is this a tall friend or a short friend?
Well, since we're fantasizing, make it whatever you'd like.
Now, I've got this is the way I think Jerry would think. Now, he's wrong to think this way. In the unlikely event that this would happen, he blames himself for everything.
Really?
He does. He's Mr. Guilty sometimes.
Yes.
He would, you know.
I must have done something wrong.
Yeah, he's always, you know, it's me, honey, I think he would do that.
Okay. I hope that if it happens, it works out that way for you.
It's not going to happen.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Whew, mercy. Quick, moving right along. Jerry, come on, Jerry. Jerry, what would, in the unlikely event that you found out that Ann was having an affair with a friend of yours, would you blame him, blame her, or blame yourself?
Unlikely event.
Unlikely event, I said.
I'd blame myself.
That's it. Why would you blame yourself, Jerry?
I blame myself for having such a nice friend.
Right. You picked him, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Jerry, but why am I sorry? That's terrific.
Although I think he has great taste, I got to tell you that.
You see, Mr. Wonderful, all right.
Kathie, how about Darren? What would he do?
I think that Darren would blame himself too.
He would?
I do. I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you ever talked about this?
No,
No.
because it would never happen,
Right.
as you said.
But we're
It's
going to talk about it
impossible.
now, aren't we?
Yeah, I guess we have to.
Let's bring him on and see what he says.
Yeah.
In the unlikely event, sir. That
Better be unlikely.
Yes, of course. That's why I said that. A good friend was having an affair with Kathie. Would you blame him, blame her, or blame yourself?
Listen, if I can't keep a good friend without having to have an affair with my wife, then I'm not worth anything.
So?
I blame myself.
That's right. Okay, you're right too. Olavee, you going to make it 3 ways?
Well, it sounds like a recording, but he would blame himself.
He would, huh?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he would, but he would. He really would.
Okay, let's bring him on and see what he says. What are you going to do, Ross, in that unlikely event that Olavee would be having an affair with a friend of yours, a good friend of yours? Would you blame him, blame her, or blame yourself?
Well, that's a murderous question.
It is?
Yeah, oh, sure.
That's why their ratings are so good.
I'd blame myself.
That's it! Well, everybody blames themselves. Don't blame me if it doesn't work out. You split the pot 3 ways, and we'll come back in a moment and split a lot more pots. We'll come back too. See you in a second. Here we go. Question number 2 coming up, fellas. We have a 3-way tie. This is it. Men, is there any famous living person who you can honestly say is your idol? Yes or no?
Living?
I'll say it again. Is there any famous living person who you can honestly say is your idol? Yes or no? Okay, good question. Think it over, fellas. Off they go. Now, you have to think of a minute, probably, girls, but we're going to start with you, Kathie. Is there any famous living person that Darren really thinks that much of, that you would say qualifies as an idol in some way?
Oh, this is really, you're right, this is a tough question because there are many people that he admires greatly, and rightfully so. But when you say idol, that makes it sort of almost an impossible thing. I'd have to say there isn't anybody. If you had said admire and all of that sort of thing.
Well, I don't mean to put you off with the word idol, but I think maybe you're right. You're interpreting it. It's a very strong word.
It's a really strong word.
Yes.
I don't think there's anybody like that.
Okay, you'll say, no, there isn't any.
No.
Okay, let's bring him on and find out. Darren, is there any famous living person who you can honestly say is your idol?
Most of them are all a bunch of bums. Of course not.
That's exactly right.
If you're talking about politicians and about world leaders,
Yeah. No,
politicians, world leaders, and that, they're all a bunch of bums out there today.
Bunch of bums, right?
They really
Okay. You're absolutely right. I don't know about your opinion. I mean, as far as the question was concerned. Olavee, what about Ross?
Well, the word idol is what threw me too, and a living an idol.
Yes, famous living person.
Because there are several that are not living that were his idols, but I don't think there is one right now. I might be wrong.
Sad enough to say.
I'm going to say no, there isn't.
You'll say no.
But I know he's a great admirer of Orson Welles. There might be something there, but I'm going to say no, there isn't.
But you're going to say no,
Yeah.
okay, because Orson Welles is definitely living.
All of them.
Yes. Who was an idol of his in the past that is not living? Can you think of one?
Paul Muni.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
he idolized Paul Muni's work.
Okay, because I did say living, so
Yes.
let's bring Ross on and see what he says. Ross, is there any famous living person who you can honestly say is your idol?
I can't even falsely say anyone living is my idol. No.
That's it. You're right.
You know, that it's one of the signs of our times, really.
Yes.
I racked my brain for it. There are several people who are dead whom I can say used to be my idols.
Yes.
I don't know whether it's because I'm getting older or because there's just nobody around that had that kind of leadership and admirable quality.
True. Give us an example of someone that you thought was worth being idolized. Who's that special?
Lincoln, Jefferson,
How about
Einstein.
It's like we're playing
Jesus.
You're right, anyway. No names, huh? Okay. You're right again, Ross. You're still right. And how about Jerry? How does he feel about it?
Idol connotates dead. I mean, if someone's an idol, they're dead.
Really?
Who's alive and who's an idol? Well, anyone we put on a pedestal, we either assassinate or they die. I'm just, that's my personal feel. I don't, I know he loves Richie Castellano, that he's working in the show. No, he talks about, Richie has a wonderful, honest truth, but you wouldn't idolize a friend, would you?
I don't know. Yes, you could.
I know, but he loved my father, but my father is gone. He says he loves me. But you don't want to be married to an... I'm not an idol.
No, we wouldn't. We'd exclude you.
No, this is really depressing, the whole thing. Listen, I tell you what. I'm going to say nobody.
You'll say no.
Blue folks, I can't vouch for this, but I would say nobody living that he idolizes.
All right, let's bring him on and find out. Here we go. Jerry, is there any famous living person that you can honestly say is your idol?
I can honestly say no.
That's right. You're all right. How about that? Everybody got it. We still have a three-way tie at halftime. Step to the rear, ladies. We'll bring the fellas out front. We'll be back in a moment after these message news. Second half coming up. Don't miss it, man. We have turnabout. We have changed places, and we have the gentleman with me. We have a three-way tie. This question's for the ladies, worth $150. Here it is. How did your husband propose to you, ladies? Standing, sitting, on bended knee, or none of the above? How did your husband propose to you? Standing, sitting, on bended knee, or none of the above? It's a multiple choice, so to speak. Go away and think about that. We'll come back in a moment, ladies. Off they go. We'll start with you, Ross.
You're giving me all the tough ones. We were both sitting on the couch in my den, and I proposed sitting.
Sitting.
The proposal went, what the hey, what are we waiting for? Who am I kidding? Why don't we get married?
Yes, and what did she say?
No. I'm kidding about that. She said yes.
Okay,
we cried a little bit, and that was it. But I proposed sitting.
You were sitting. All right, let's bring her on, see if she remembers. Olavee, how did Ross propose to you? Were you standing, sitting, on bended knee, or none of the above? Was he, I should say.
He. Oh,
That's right.
He was sitting.
That's it. Guess you wouldn't forget that. What were you doing?
I was standing, and then I fell down.
There you are. You're right anyway.
I thought you were sitting, honey.
No.
You weren't sitting beside me?
We were sitting beside each other, and I got up and walked over to the bar, and you said, look, what are we waiting for? What am I waiting for?
Wow, word for
Would you
word.
please marry me? And then I fell down and kind of crawled over to the couch and put my head in your lap, and we both cried. And
Yeah.
then we called the kids.
That's wonderful.
And then we got down to the good
Everybody
stuff.
at the party laughed.
Thank you, darling. Jerry, how about Ann? What will she say? What were you doing? What position were you in?
If I was on bended knee when I proposed to Ann, it would be redundant. I remember it my way, and of course she remembered her way. She proposed to me in front of the Flatiron Building on 23rd Street in New York. I had run out of car fare to take her home, and I accepted. It was a great moment for me. I was flattered.
But were you? I know you were flattered, but were you standing or sitting or bended knee or none of the above?
I was on a telephone book, as a matter of fact. I think I was standing.
Standing.
I don't recall. Standing. I'd say standing.
Okay, you'll say standing. Let's bring on Ann and see if she knows. And how did Jerry propose to you? Was he standing, sitting, on bended knee, or none of the above?
He didn't. It was none of the above.
Was I lying on the ground?
What was it? It was on a bus, wasn't it?
We got
Didn't
off the bus.
I was standing in front of the Flatiron Building.
So, what was Jerry doing?
Well, he said yes. I proposed to him.
Yes. Well, when that happened, what was he doing? Was he standing, sitting, on bended knee, or none of the above?
Well, I couldn't tell whether he was standing or sitting.
But if you had to make a choice.
Well, it was on a bus. It was sitting.
No. He said standing. Sorry about that. We wandered around a bit, but see, that's what the problem was. You proposed to him. Nevertheless.
That's why I said it was none of the above first.
Well, but we wanted his position, so I guess we had
You
to
mean
make
his
it.
physical position?
Yes,
Why did you want that?
Well, I didn't really want it. It was on the card, and I
said
figured...
none of the above.
I'm sorry about that. You're wrong again.
It's a new position. None
Darren,
of the
how about
above.
Kathy? Does she remember what position you were in?
Do you want to know how we met or how we
I want to know what your
proposed?
husband, when you proposed to her.
Well, I met her in bed.
You were introduced?
Anyone introduced?
But yes, afterwards, of course. But, I mean, after the scene we played. But I don't remember how I proposed to her. Very frankly, I think I took on the very male assumption that she was going to marry me, and lo and behold, she did. But there was never any proposal.
So, what do we do now?
It was one of the above.
We punt, is what we do.
It was one of the above. Or none of the above.
None of the above.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll say none of the above.
Yeah.
And let's see what Kathy says. Kathy, how did Darren propose to you? Standing, sitting, on bended knee, or none of the above?
None of the above.
That's it. As a matter
of fact, he didn't propose to me at all. He said, we're getting married.
And that was it.
That was the whole thing.
You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Kathy and Darren and Olavee and Ross split the pot in half. They got it for the yellow and the red section. We'll come back in a moment with a $300 question and decide the whole issue. Come back. Close game today. This is the big one, the biggie. $300 on this one, and anybody can win. That makes it fun. Here we go, ladies. It's for you. Ladies, just before you go to sleep, the two of you are lying in bed having a conversation. Which one of you is more likely to fall asleep while the other one is talking? You are your husband. Oh, that makes me laugh. Just before you go to sleep, the two of you are lying in bed having a conversation. Which one of you is more likely to fall asleep while the other one is talking? You or your husband? Think it over, ladies. We'll come back and find out who the schnorr is. Here we go. Jerry, you and Ann are having this conversation. Which one of you is likely to drop off while the other one is talking?
Well, we have three magical words in our household when this happens, and it comes out of Ann's mouth. She always says, "in the morning."
That means signing off, right?
It means whatever you want it to mean.
Oh, I see. Whoops. So what is your answer then, sir?
I think that Ann is working very hard on this wonderful series that she's doing. I'll mention it again, all right? Kate McShane, and she's up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and when she wants to go to sleep, it's only because she's absolutely tired. She's learning her lines, and let her go to sleep and make the money, Annie. All right?
So she is more likely to fall asleep while you're talking?
Oh, sure.
Is that what you're going to say?
Absolutely right.
Let's bring her on.
Yes.
And which one of you is more likely to fall asleep while the other is talking, you or Jerry?
I fall asleep when he's talking when we're not in bed. So I'm the one that would fall.
That's right. That's what he said.
But she does it with such class, I can't tell you.
Really?
Oh,
You mean she slips away silently, you never know, is that it?
I'm sleeping right now.
Thank you, Ed. You got the share of the big one. Darren, how about Kathy? Between you and Kathy, who's likely to drop off while the other is talking?
While the other's talking?
Yes. Oh, you're having a conversation, so who's more likely to fall asleep while the other is talking?
Well, I go to sleep first, but we're not necessarily talking.
No, I understand.
She reads, and I generally fall asleep first.
I see. So if you had to make a choice...
I would say me.
You'll say it's you.
Yeah.
Let's bring on Kathy, see what she says. Here we go, Kathy. This for the big one. Which one of you is more likely to fall asleep while the other is talking?
Well, I have to confess, I'm embarrassed. I hate to tell the whole world on television, but it would be me.
No, that's not what Darren said.
No?
No? Tell us what you said, Darren. Obviously you said you, but he said that you would be reading and he would just kind of drop off.
Oh, well, that too.
That too, yes. Now she
that
remembers.
too.
Okay, moving along to Ross now.
Yes.
If you get this right, Ross,
Yeah.
this is for the game right here. We've seen that before, haven't we, folks? What's the answer? Which one of you is more likely to fall asleep while the other's
Well, I'm long-winded. I don't know how to say anything briefly. And Olavee falls asleep sometimes in the middle of a preparatory phrase because it takes 20 minutes for the preparatory phrase.
Right.
I would say that Olavee is more likely to fall asleep than I am.
What's that?
Olavee is the one who is more likely to fall asleep while I'm talking than that I will fall asleep while she's talking. When she talks, I listen.
Right. Okay, let's bring her on. Olavee, no pressure now, but this will decide the game. That's right, but I don't want you to worry about it. Which one of you is more likely to fall asleep while the other is talking, you or Ross? I don't think I can take it.
I don't think I can either. I would be the one to fall asleep.
You got it. And Jerry, Olavee and Ross picked apart. Our time is up. The red section wins it. You got it. We'll come back in just a moment and let you know exactly how much the red section has won. See you in a second. The red section with Ross and Olavee with $325. Win it today. We had 1,325 big ones. Thank you all, folks. Thank you for looking in on us. Bert Carver saying so long, everybody. See you next time.
This is Gene Wood speaking for Tattletales, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.